Hello, my name is Ryan. I was assigned part 4 of the group project. Let me go ahead and look into here, which was task 1 was to estimate how much the project would cost. So what I did to do that was I took the story points and multiplied them by 4,286, which originally was supposed to be 1,200, but we figured that that was just a rough estimate, so we took that number instead and multiplied that by the total of 28 story points, reaching up to 1,208, which is just above the MVP budget of 1,200 and below the overall budget of 3,500. So the project is on budget and going on the right path forward. For task 2, I was supposed to find the cost variance, schedule variance, CPI, SPI, and EAC, which the cost variance and schedule variance were both at 17,000 because two of the values were the exact same. And the same goes for CPI and SPI, which I came to a total of 1.16. And the EAC I came up with estimate at completion was 103,455. So again, it's on the right path. Now, as far as what the app needs to be tested, I had to make sure that the user can enter in any kind of number that they can change at any time based on how high the blood pressure is. So it has to be able to both enter in and have the ability to change that number. And make sure that files can be stored within it as well and have the ability to find files at any time. That's another thing that has to be tested. And we also have to ensure that an alarm clock is also ensured within the app itself to make sure that the user is reminded to take their medications. And that clock can also be changed at any time. Now, we also have to have a GPS system in place to where... I can't words. And in order to find hospitals around the area. Now, I also originally was going to make it to where, you could bypass the phone's password in order to find hospitals, but I figured that would be taking it a bit too far, even in an emergency situation. I don't know, that was just my thinking. And I also wanted to add links to other websites as well, so that should also be able to be coded in. Now, as far as which Kaban property I figured would be the most effective for a project like this, is limit the work in progress, because I figured that if you make sure that the code works and there's no errors or whatever before you move forward, that would be a great way to ensure there's no errors going into it. Now, the ones that I figured that didn't make the most sense or I think would not work would be visualizing the workflow with cards, because those can easily be mixed up, and with lines of code you can't really do that. I also figure that using models to recognize improvement doesn't work either, because modeling can't really work with lines of code. I'm not entirely sure how that would work. And there we go. That is part 4.